What is up, my friends? So, I always look on Netflix to see what's being recommended or what's new. A movie that I definitely saw on there was Brain on Fire, starring Chloe Grace Moretz, Jenny Slate, Tyler Perry, and Carrie Ann Moss. Now, this looked interesting. It looked like some thriller or something. I was wrong. This is no thriller in any way, shape, or form. Well, maybe it could be counted as that, but definitely not the thriller you're thinking. I was thinking this was gonna be something like really like crazy and out there, and that's because I didn't know this was based on a true story. So basically, this film deals with a young reporter who is suffering through some mental sickness, she believes, and she's getting all these tests and whatnot, and they're like, it's normal, I don't think you have anything wrong with you. She starts developing seizures, she starts having some manic episodes and whatnot, and the doctors are like, she's bipolar, she's schizophrenic, she's psychotic, and the family's just like, what the hell do you mean? Everybody's giving us different answers, nobody's giving nothing clear. They're like, we're gonna put her in a psych ward, and they're just like, holy shit, what the fuck is gonna happen? So then she's just getting worse, and nobody seems to know what the hell's going on. And then the doctors are basically like, we're gonna give it a couple more days, but if not, honestly, the best thing to do would just be to take her to psych ward. The family, of course, is just like, how can this happen? She's never had nothing like this happen before. She's been healthy all this time. And the doctors are pretty much like, yeah, we understand all that, but honestly, we just don't know what else to do. One of the doctors, however, doesn't want to give up hope, and she goes and seeks one of her old mentors, and she's just basically like, hey, we got this girl, we don't understand what's going on, we need your help. He is sort of hesitant at first because he is now a teacher, he doesn't really want to get back to the field, but ultimately he does think like, hey, somebody needs my help, I gotta go do it. And he does. He runs some tests and whatnot where he has her draw out a clock. At this point, she is in a catatonic stage, so pretty much everybody just gave up hope. But then he quickly realizes something as she's doing this drawing. Part of her hemisphere in her brain is actually inflamed, and this is the reason she only draws half of a clock. And he basically explains that somebody who's going through mental illness and whatnot would not really be able to do this, but somebody who is going through this sickness, which they call anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis, and that is a really mouthful right there, but basically has part of her brain on fire, and this is hence the name of the movie. Doctor ends up giving her treatment, which leads on to a slow but a full recovery, and she's back working in the job 7 months later and seems to have recovered now, and she basically writes a story about this. What's crazy about this is that this was actually a true story, and this actually did happen to a young woman, and now it is something that's not very much diagnosed much because people automatically jump to other conclusions with it, but I found it very interesting. Now, the movie itself isn't as interesting as the story itself. I thought some of the characters felt really flat. A lot of the editing in this as well, it felt very paced wrong in some way, and it just felt like something we would see better suited as a house episode, but I can understand why they would want to make it into a big screen type movie or Netflix screen, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, overall, it is a very fascinating story. Definitely recommend checking it out just because of that. The movie might have been a little better, but hey, overall, I enjoyed it. And yeah, I think it's definitely one you should definitely check out. Pretty much we realized that she didn't really have any mental illness. It was more a sort of a thing that just started attacking her brain and just basically made it inflamed to the point that she was losing her cognitive abilities. But let me know what you think about this movie in the comments below. What are your thoughts if you checked it out? Definitely let me know what you thought about this whole thing. I thought it was very interesting. As I said, I learned something new, and I definitely recommend checking out just because of that information and whatnot that was presented. Very important stuff. But anyways, as always, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that right now. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, share, all that good stuff. And as always, I have some ending explains coming up this week for The Purge and the Ant-Man, so subscribe for that. And I'll see y'all next time. Stay positive.